The foldable phone market is heating up at long last. With Samsung having had the market mostly to itself outside China for a lot of this year, we're now starting to see more competition arrive. Motorola launched its latest generation Razr flip phone, and now Honor is here with its latest challenger to the Galaxy Z Fold, the Honor Magic VS. And it's a proper flagship phone with an impressive spec sheet. I'm Cam Bunton from Pocket-lint, and in this video I'm going to unbox and show you all the details of this latest foldable phone from Honor. If you do like it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe and tap the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any more. Now, the unboxing element of the phone is fairly typical of most smartphones, apart from the size and shape of the box. It very much contains the usual accessories and additional items you'd expect. It ships in this lovely box and the phone sits on top of a tray in protective film. Underneath that tray are the individual boxes with the necessary items. That includes a small box with the USB-A to USB-C cable and another which contains the 66-watt fast charger, which should ensure the battery can refill quickly when empty. There's also the SIM ejector tool, and you get a snap-on shell for the rear of the phone too. The case has a slim sticky tab that runs all the way down that one side to hold it to your phone, so you shouldn't have to deal with the rear shell coming loose. What's interesting about Honor's approach to this book-style foldable is that the company has taken the approach more like its former parent company Huawei, rather than Samsung. That's to say, it's got a big display on the outside and a larger one inside, and that means it's quite a big phone. It's 5.5 centimeters wider than the Z Fold 4 when shut, and more than 11 centimeters wider when open. For a device of this style though, it is quite slim, and that helps the phone feel less chunky than it would. That's only aided further by the fact that the two halves of the display close virtually flush. There's no gap near the hinge, so there's the sense that it's an even thickness all the way across the entire phone. It doesn't get wider at the spine. It feels pretty sturdy too, thanks to those durable metal framing around the edges and a hinge built from titanium alloy, which seems to open and shut smoothly on first impressions. This particular blue model comes with a frosted glass rear, but there will be models shipping with vegan leather as well. So you might find there's a slight difference in weight and dimensions depending on whether you go for the glass or the fake leather. As display specs go, the two screens on the Honor Magic VS should offer a top-tier experience. But a big part of what makes this phone attractive, or what we think will make it attractive to buyers, will be the size of those screens. The front display offers a large 6.45-inch panel that's much closer to a standard smartphone aspect ratio than the long, narrow screens we've seen from Samsung. It's not quite 18:9, but at 21.3:9, the size and aspect ratio will make it a lot less cramped than the main competition. We've only used it for a short while, but we can already tell it's going to be much more useful for doing everyday tasks. Those times where you don't need the big internal display, or you're in a hurry and just want to reply to something quickly, will feel less like a compromise on this screen, we think. Of course, I'm going to need more time with this phone to be able to say for sure. As for the internal display, that measures near enough 8 inches and offers a large surface area. And it's coated with a special anti-reflective coating to help avoid one of the biggest problems we've found with plastic-covered folding screens, and that's reflections. Plus, the hinge design means the crease in the middle of the screen isn't too obvious when the screen is on, although you can still see it and feel it. Now, it's too early to give my full thoughts on the performance of the display, plus this is a pre-production unit, so things might change slightly by the time the real ones come out. But there is HDR10+ support and 90Hz refresh rate on the bright, vibrant OLED panel inside, so it's clearly got a lot going for it. As for software, that's Magic OS 7 running on top of Android 12. Now, moving on to internals, and it's got everything you should need for a proper flagship feel in terms of performance and speed. That means the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor is running the show, and if it's like other phones we've tested with that platform, it should mean really fast and efficient performance. It's joined by either 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM and either 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage. Again, that means plenty of memory for efficient performance, as well as plenty of storage for downloading files, apps, and media. When you add the 5000 mAh battery to the picture, it really brings home the fact that this is trying to offer you all you'd expect from a proper top-tier Android phone without any compromises. And in a folding phone too. Add 66-watt wired fast charging to the picture, and the only thing we're really missing is wireless charging. Now, we haven't had time to thoroughly test the cameras, but yet again it's got everything that it needs on paper. There's a primary 50 megapixel camera with a big Sony sensor inside for high quality images with lots of detailed dynamic range and colors, and that main lens is joined by two others, an ultra wide which also doubles as a macro. Again, that's 50 megapixels, so Honor hasn't gone down the route of offering a useless low resolution macro camera. Add a 3x optical zoom telephoto camera with 8 megapixel sensor, and that means you get the variety and versatility and focal length length to suit most conditions. In the end, our first impressions of the Honor Magic VS are really good. It's a solid feeling, good looking folding smartphone with two great big screens and a hinge design that means the phone folds shut. Add that big battery, the top tier processor, the fast charging and a triple camera system to that, and we have a really compelling device. I'm looking forward to testing it more thoroughly over the next few weeks. I've been Cam, I'm at Cam Bunton on social media. If you did like this video, please do leave a thumbs up and subscribe and tap the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any more of our uploads. And I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.